It does look so nice, but we are also seeing some of those winds whip around out there because of Santa Ana conditions. So right now, yes, clear as can be, blue skies, and we're going to continue to see some nice weather. Right now, 53 degrees in downtown, and if you are going to be heading out through Malibu, 56 degrees with humidity around 25%. You can see, look at that tree blowing right there. So we do have some of those winds, the camera bouncing around just a little bit, and those winds are going to continue for us all the way through your late morning and then early afternoon. A wind advisory will expire at 1 o'clock this afternoon, but look at Banning right now. 20-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Some of those gusts we are seeing are about 50 miles per hour in that area. We're also seeing some hot colors here in red right through Santa Clarita, so we are expecting to see some of those areas dealing with 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We're going to continue with this even though our wind advisory expires at 1 o'clock today. Another one is expected to be reissued tomorrow and Monday as well. 35 degrees in Palmdale, 31 in Lancaster, 51 in Ontario, and it's going to warm up by your afternoon out there. And for the Inland Empire and Valley spots, we'll hit a high of about 75 today, and that's where we're seeing some winds getting going all the way through your afternoon. We'll talk more about Santa Ana conditions. We have a big warm up that is still continuing to rise. Guys, over to you. An idea of where we should be for this time of year in February. 68 degrees is our average for some of our inland spots, but we're looking at 79 today, way above. By the time we hit Tuesday, we'll be about 20 degrees above average temperatures for this time of year. So this is Santa Ana conditions. We get that warm blowing air coming over the canyons and passes, and so a wind advisory has been prompted for Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego, and Ventura County areas. That means we could get 45-mile-per-hour gusts out there. At this point, though, we're only seeing sustained winds around 20. I mean, it is pretty gusty up for Banning, and we're looking at some of those wind gusts about 45 to 50. Most areas, though, just staying with some breezy conditions. In Santa Clarita, 5-mile-per-hour sustained winds, but with the reds that we're seeing here, indication that we do have some of those gusts coming in about 35 miles per hour. High pressure is responsible for all of these changes. Those Santa Ana winds come over those canyons and passes up the mountain ridge top, and as they slide down on the opposing side, they get compressed, and that compression warms up and dries out your air mass. That's why temperatures continue to increase as it heads down into the mountains, funneling some of that warm, dry air right out to the beach community. So what you'll notice today, the beaches are going to be a bit warmer than the deserts on the opposing side of this mountain ridge. We're looking at low pressure. Look at all this rainfall. Looks like a nice storm system, but because of this high pressure ridge, this is what happens. It pushes all of that way up into the north. So Canada getting rainfall while Washington, parts of Oregon, and all of California remains dry. So we'll continue with this warm spell and dry spell for the next 7 to 9 days. A while, and then those 70s start Sunday and then head all the way into next work week. All right, so Santa Ana conditions sticking around here in February. Guys, over to you. May be able to feel it on your skin, on your eyes. We are looking at Santa Ana winds, and we do know that some people are very sensitive, especially when it comes to allergies. So we are going to continue with this through the next several days. 56 degrees right now, Malibu, beautiful skies out there. What you're not seeing, though, are the winds, and the winds are gusting in some places like Banning, where we're seeing 20-mile-per-hour sustained winds with gusts for most areas right through the canyons and passes and foothills around 45 miles per hour. For your temperatures, 56 in Santa Clarita, 51 in Ontario, and we're looking at Los Angeles and Orange County, where today we're going to get up to about 77 degrees with mostly clear skies, and for the Inland Empire and Valley spots, we'll hit a high of about 75, still with some windy conditions. We're going to give you an update on how warm it's going to get here in the coming days. Guys, over to you. If you're closer to the foothill communities, especially if you are along some of the passes, we are going to see temperatures also shooting up thanks to Santa Ana conditions that we're talking about in February. Unusual for February. We should be seeing Santa Ana conditions in fall, so anywhere from August all the way through November, and we're seeing them now. So temperatures are going to continue to climb all the way through about Tuesday. 88 degrees expected, and then they'll slowly begin to fall by late next week, but we're going to stick around with some dry and warm weather for a while here. A wind advisory has been issued for Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties. So we're looking at those northeast winds really being pushed out right along the coastal communities, right through some of the mountain foothills. And what we're seeing right now, 21-mile-per-hour sustained winds in Banning. If you are going to be into Gorman, 12-mile-per-hour sustained winds, but some of these gusts, you're seeing these nice bright colors here. Those gusts are picking up to about 30 miles per hour to 45 miles per hour. Expected to calm down around 1 o'clock this afternoon. At 1 o'clock, the wind advisory will expire expire, but we'll expect to have another one as high pressure continues to grow and expand. And as far as any rain's concerned, look what happens. This is a nice storm system that's developed right out to the Pacific, and that's all going to be pushed up as high pressure continues to grow right over into Canada. So anywhere from Washington, Oregon, down through California, no rain expected for the next several days. So we are looking at warm and dry conditions. And I know that for some of you, it does affect your sinuses. Santa Ana's do cause Santa Ana conditions in February. Unusual. We really want the rain, and this should be one of our most rainy months. But instead, we are looking at some conditions that are dry, windy, and it is elevating our fire danger. 66 degrees out in Malibu, and we're seeing some very clear skies out there. Just beautiful. And if you are going to be heading out to Wrightwood, you can see that there is a little bit of snow, but that snow is expected to melt here quickly as a warm-up is on the way. So some of these Santa Ana winds, you can see that they are gusting right through some of our canyons and passes. We're looking at 5-mile-per-hour sustained winds in Santa Clarita, but the gusts, we're talking about 30-mile-per-hour gusts potentially out there as we're heading into your later morning, and we're also going to see that wind advisory expire around 1 o'clock. Now, that wind advisory will expire, but tomorrow and it looks like Monday, we're going to get another one issued. 37 degrees out there in Wrightwood, and if you're in the Inland Empire, we're going to see a high about 75. We'll have another forecast coming up in a few minutes. Talk more about those Santa Anas. Saturday morning, we are taking a look at your traffic report, and at this point, we still are looking at the ABC7 traffic alert on the 57 northbound right at your Belinda Boulevard. If you're heading in that direction, it is an accident that has caused quite a bit of slowing this morning all the way back to Nutwood. So if you're heading in that direction, once you get past your Belinda Boulevard, things start moving a little bit more freely. Otherwise, the rest of the south line looking all right, except, of course, try to avoid the 101 if you're heading near downtown Boyle Heights area because of that slow jam. Guys, over to you. We are seeing 63 degrees out in Van Nuys. We're also looking outside into Long Beach, where temperatures right now around 61 degrees, humidity around 34%. So we will notice today that we are way above average temperatures. We're about 10 degrees above average for this time of year today, but we still have a ways to go. We're going to be 20 degrees above average temperatures by the time we hit Tuesday because of these Santa Ana conditions. So those winds are driving in from the northeast, really blowing out right to the beach communities and driving in warm weather, gusty conditions. So a wind advisory has been issued for Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego, and Ventura County areas. It'll expire at 1 p.m. as we're heading into this afternoon, but I'm expecting to see another one issued tomorrow along with Monday because these winds are just not going to let up. As we're looking out to the Banning Pass, 23-mile-per-hour sustained winds. We're looking at gusts about 50 miles per hour. For Santa Clarita, 8-mile-per-hour sustained winds, 12 up towards Gorman, and we'll continue to see these gusty conditions mostly for the foothills, the canyons, the passes, those areas really prone to those Santa Ana wind conditions. So high pressure is responsible for these Santa Ana winds as it settles over the Great Basin, and these winds come up over the mountain ridge tops, and as they slide down on the opposing side, they compress, they warm up, and they dry out. So you'll notice temperatures as they start to climb down increase. So we're looking at 90-degree temperatures through the valley floor, and that hot air gets blown right out to the beach community. So you'll notice that today, and as we head into Tuesday, the beaches are going to be warmer than the desert on the opposing side of this mountain ridge top. So a question that I'm being asked a lot, what happened to El Nino? Well, as long as we have this semi-permanent ridge of high pressure that we've been seeing here, this is preventing any of that El Nino storm system to come on down. So it's acting as our barrier, and you can see that as it expands and grows, all those storms get pushed up to the north. So now we're looking at those storms into Canada, parts of Washington, but for Oregon and California, the next several days, we are going to remain dry, and we're going to remain very warm. So today we're starting it off by tomorrow and heading us right into next work week. So Santa Ana's here for a long haul. Guys, over to you.